Now that we have our custom blank theme installed, we'll begin by designing our website. We're going to start off by adding custom fonts and custom colors. Let's jump into WordPress and make this happen. In order to manage the fonts of my WordPress project, I need to go to the editor. I'll go to Appearance, Editor, and within my editor, I'm going to go to Styles. We'll select Typography. And this is not very intuitive, but you're going to click this little icon right here, which will allow you to access the Manage Fonts area. Once in this area, you will have the option to see what fonts are currently installed. Keep in mind that we just created a blank theme, so it's simply using the system font. We can upload fonts, and as long as you have one of the supported formats, TTF, OTF, WOFF, and WOFF2, you can simply upload the fonts right here, and then you can integrate them into the site. The last option is to install fonts via the Google Font Library. Once you come to this tab, you'll need to connect to Google Fonts, so you'll click this button to allow access to Google Fonts. And then you will see a list of Google fonts. So this will list all of the fonts in alphabetical order. You have different categories that you can use to search up the fonts, or if you happen to know the font name, you can simply search up the font this way. I'm going to go ahead and install several custom fonts. The first one is called Sacramento. Here's the font that I want, and this one only has one style, so I will select that and click Install. As you can see, this font was successfully installed. I'll click this back arrow button so that I'm back to the Install Fonts area. The next font that I want to install is called Alice. Again, this one only has one style, so I'm going to select that and install it. I'll click the back button one more time, and the final font that I want to add is Roboto. As you can see, Roboto has many font styles. I'll select 400, 700, and 400 italic. It is worth mentioning that you don't want to just install all of the font's variant styles, as this can increase the time it takes for your web page to load. Now that I have this, I'll click Install. And if I go back and go to the library, you can see that these fonts have now been installed into my theme. I'll go ahead and click Close. And now that I have these fonts, I can go ahead and assign the fonts to the various elements. So I'm going to make all of my text elements use our Roboto font. And you can see that I have a little preview, which is going to show me how my changes are going to look. If you want to modify the base font size or the appearance, which is going to be the style of the font or the line height, letter spacing, or change the casing, you can do that here, but I will leave mine as is. I'm going to click back, and then I'll move on to links. Once again, for my links, I'm going to set this to Roboto. I'll click the back button. I'm going to go to headings, and for my headings, if you leave all specified, it's going to update or change all of the headings. So with all selected, I'm going to go to Roboto, and then I'm going to choose the regular style. So that's going to make all of my headlines a little bit lighter. Then I'll go into my H1 fonts, and I'm going to change this to use the Sacramento font. And you can see that this is going to update on my page. This happens to be the only instance of where I'm using this font. I will go ahead and show you how you can override this in a little while, but for now, I'm going to leave all of my H1s set at Sacramento. I'll click the back button. I'm going to go to captions, and for captions, we're going to use our Alice font. I'll click the back button one more time, and then I'm going to go to buttons, and for buttons, we will use the Roboto font, and I'm going to set the font weight to bold. And then I'll click the back button one more time. So now I've assigned all of these font families. We also have an option for font size presets. If you want to go ahead and augment the presets, you can come in here and do this. So currently small is set to 13. I'm going to make this 12. I'll click the back button. I'm going to go to medium. This is set to 20. That I'll leave. Large is set to 36. And extra large is set to 42. I'm going to leave these keyword sizes at this default settings. You can always add a new custom size if you need an additional size, or you can override these settings as well. Now that I've augmented my font settings, I'm going to click Review One Change. It's going to let me know that I'm making a change to the global styles, and I am now adding my own custom styles. I will click Save, and now these changes have persisted throughout my website. If I go back to the front end and we refresh, you can see that the changes that we've specified are going to be updated and displayed within the page. If you ever want to make any more changes, all you have to do is go back. And so at this point, I'm going to go to H2s. We'll make H2s also display as Sacramento. If I want to increase the size, I can go ahead and make that modification here. And as you can see, all of my H2 instances that are being used on the page will update with this new font style. I think I'll go back to H1s and set this to Roboto as well. And let's just adjust the font size. If you don't want to use these t-shirt font sizes, you can click this little slider bar, which will let you set a custom size. And you can change the units from pixels to ems, rems, vertical width, and vertical height. I'm going to use rems, and I'll set my H1 font size to 2.8 rems. Once again, I'm going to click Review One Change and save the updates. If we come back to the front end part of WordPress and refresh, our new changes are going to be updated and applied to all of the pages within our website. In addition to augmenting the typography of your website, you may want to adjust the colors. If we go to the color section, you can go ahead and you can create your own custom palette as well as assign default colors for these various elements. I suggest you augment your custom palette first, so we will do that. I'm going to come into the Edit Palette section. This is the default palette that comes with WordPress. If you click these three dots, this will open your color options, and this is going to list all of the colors with the assigned name. If you click on any of these colors, you can come into the color picker and you can adjust these colors. If you do make the change here, you will not be able to update the name of the particular color. So this isn't always the best option. I'm just going to click on these three dots and click Reset Colors. What I suggest you do if you want to create your own custom colors is you come down to where it says Custom and you click the plus. This will allow you to create your own custom colors and assign names to those colors. I'll go ahead and create that now. I'll start off by making a color that is not quite black. So it's going to be a very dark color, close to black, but not quite black. We'll go ahead and we're going to give this a name. Instead of color 1, we're going to call it Almost Black. I'm going to click the plus sign, and the next color that I want to use is going to be a neutral or very light color gray. I happen to know the hex value, so I'm going to plug that in, and we're just going to give this a name of light gray. Then I'll click the plus sign and I will continue to work in this way and add the additional colors that I want to be using in my project. I'll go ahead and just do that now. Now that I have my custom colors, I'll go ahead and click Done. As you can see, it's going to create my new custom palette. If we go ahead and click the back button right here, we can now apply or use our custom palette. So for my text, I'm going to have all of the base text use my Almost Black. You can see that that is going to change. We'll set the background of our website to our light gray. For links, I'm going to make my link colors by default teal. And then we're going to go ahead and go to the hover state. And when we hover over, we will have our links change to the midnight blue. Captions are going to be Almost Black. For buttons, we'll set the button text color to our light gray. The background color is going to be our midnight blue. And I'm not going to specify a gradient. I did not create my own custom gradients, but you could do that in the same way. For headings, we're going to leave our headings by default be almost black. Now that I've done that, I have my own custom colors. I'm going to click Review One Change. It's going to let me know that it's going to make a global style change. I'll click Save. Now that we've made these changes, you can see that they are being applied to my website. However, these changes currently exist in the database. We have not placed them into our theme. And let me show you what I mean. I'm going to go ahead and navigate to where my WordPress install is. Here's the theme folder of this project. You can see that I have a new theme located in here called VA Custom Theme. That is the theme that we made, and it has these various elements. These are the elements that the theme made when we first created our blank theme. Let me open this file in our code editor. Here's the file in the code editor, and if we go to theme.json, you can see that these are the settings that the blank theme wrote. None of our changes, our font family, nor our colors are showing up here. So how do we get that information into the theme? Well, let me show you. We're going to go back to WordPress, and I have to be on a page or a template in order to do this. So I'm just going to switch to my template section. And the only template that I currently have is index. We're going to go ahead and we're just going to click on this template. And if you look in the upper right-hand corner of the WordPress template or page editor, you will see that there's a new icon. This wrench icon allows you to access the Create Block Theme area. So if we click this, you can see that we have some options. Save changes to theme, create theme variation, edit theme metadata, view theme.json file. That's the file we were just looking at. And once again, there is none of this information present. We know that. You can't edit this file in this window, but you can view it. View custom styles. If we click that, it is going to show us the custom styles. So this has our information, the Roboto, the midnight blue color, the almost black, and all of the modifications that we made are located here. But really what I want to do is I want to apply these to my theme. So we're going to go ahead and click Save Changes to Theme. Once you click this, you're going to be in this Save Changes area, and you can specify exactly what it is that you want to save. So Save Fonts is going to save all of the fonts. Notice that it will save activated fonts in the font library to the theme and remove deactivated theme fonts from the theme. Save style changes. These are going to save the global style changes. We made some changes to our colors, but at present, those are the only changes that we have currently made. Template changes are going to apply to the template. And then we have some other options. Process only modified templates. This will go ahead and only affect templates that you've modified in the editor. Any additional templates that you may not have touched are not going to be modified. This doesn't really apply to us because we started with a blank theme and we don't really have any other templates except for index. And then we can save patterns. So if you create synced patterns, they can be saved. And then you have some other options that are turned off. The only changes we really need at present are save fonts and save style changes. If the rest of these options are checked, it's not going to really do anything either way. So I'm just going to go ahead and click Save Changes. It lets me know that the theme saved successfully and the editor is now going to reload. I'm going to click OK. And we don't really see any changes here, but if we go back into the wrench, and if we look at our view our theme.json, you're going to see that now this file has changed. So now we have options for the color palette. We also have options for our new fonts. So all of the changes have now been hard-coded into theme.json. If I go back into my code editor, you're going to see that the changes will appear here as well. It is possible for you to make modifications manually to these documents, and then you'll just need to reload those. But obviously, it is much easier to have WordPress update these changes. It is important when you do make changes, if you want to move them from the database or from this current instance of the WordPress install and roll them into your custom theme, that you save the changes to the theme. Typically, I don't do this after every edit. I just wanted to show you where this was located and how these elements relate to the custom theme that we're working on. Normally, my work process is to flush everything out, and then I'll just save changes to the theme and possibly export the theme once again so that I have a new current version of my theme that I could move and use elsewhere. We'll continue to make additional modifications to our custom WordPress template, but this is a great place to start. Being able to specify your own font families and your own colors is definitely going to get you one step closer to designing the exact website that you want.